What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Coffee with Dudes pod. We've been shooting in the afternoon, so I don't have my coffee here on screen. It's actually 4:45 p.m. right now. So I did have my coffee earlier, so we are still holding true to the Coffee with Dudes theme here, but yeah, a little late for me. I try to shut down my coffee intake or caffeine for that matter, anything, before 12 p.m. every day. So at the latest, I'm usually 10:30. If I'm pushing it closer to 11, like I got issues, I got a problem. So I'm usually done with any sort of caffeine. And actually, I haven't been taking any pre-workouts lately, so it's been um, I feel a lot better. I feel like I'm getting better sleep. I feel like I'm more consistent with my energy levels, things like that. However, one thing that has been taking a little bit of a dip is my steps. When I was strictly running my own business, I designed and made my own schedule, and I was doing that full time. Getting steps was so easy. And it was one thing that I would always, find suggestions, ways, strategy for my clients who had super busy schedules, and it was tough for them to get, a total daily energy expenditure or a steps target, right? So even like for some clients, 6,000, 8,000, 10,000, like those amounts are like really hard for people. And now that I'm sitting behind a desk, doing more of that and not necessarily getting to design my schedule's pretty flexible. However, it's really packed now. And so for that, I have to be more conscious of me achieving a certain amount of steps and being consistent on a daily basis, more so than I ever have before, I think. So like right now at 4:45, just after 4:45, I'm at 3,500 steps. I need to get, another 6,000 before the end of the day, which is totally doable. That's easy. But I was finding by the end of the day, sometimes at like 5, 6, almost 7 o'clock, I'd be at like 1,500 steps. And so you're walking circles in the house, right? Like, so I actually just pulled up what are the best strategies. I could share some personal strategies that I've had because I've gotten better at it within the last couple weeks, but there was a couple week stretch there where I was not like hitting my step targets consistently. And I was like, okay, here's where I need to draw a line in the sand. I need to do something different. So I'll tell you from personal experience what I have my clients do and what I've done to help get those steps a little bit easier. And the first thing is being aware of it. You got to create the awareness around it. If I was just going through the motions and not caring about hitting a specific target, and I was kind of just like, oh, whatever I get, I get. I'm more diligent than that. Not only just being a coach and being in the fitness industry for so long, but I care. I want to make sure that the food that I'm intaking is also being accounted for based off my calorie burn or calorie expenditure, not to the exact amount of, very specific calorie in, calorie out, but more so like, can I give myself a consistent energy expenditure throughout the day, i.e., something that's very measurable, which is our steps? Can I do that? And can I do it on a very consistent basis? Some days are going to be higher, some days are going to be lower, but across my 7 day span, what's my weekly average? Am I staying consistent with that? And so, those of you that have the health app on the iPhone, it's really cool because it shows you if you've been doing it for a while, it has a pedometer in there. It'll tell you like where you are in comparison to this week, last 6 months, whatever you want to see, even this time last year. So if you're more active this time than you were last year, it'll let you know those sort of things. So really, really cool if you guys haven't had too much experience with that. But I was struggling with the steps for a little bit. So what are some things that I did to get back into my rhythm so my energy expenditures back up so I can, match the consistency with my food intake versus what I'm burning off calorically as well. And I can have sort of a maintenance during this time of year, right? Or even put myself in a slight surplus. But if I am not burning enough energy, I can get myself in some trouble there, right? So um, the things that I've been doing are being conscious of it, being more aware of it, but throughout the day, before and post meetings, that has triggered me to get up, even if it's just for 5 or 10 minutes. Those 5 or 10 minutes add up at the end of the day, especially later in the day. If you're looking at your total and you just kind of been chipping away throughout the day, you can 10 and 15 minute increments sporadically throughout the day can really, really add up. So that's been helping. The other thing is making it a non-negotiable post meal to go for another 10, 15 minute walk, right? And so I think we over like we stand at the bottom of the mountain and we look up and go, holy cow, this is a long way for us to go versus, achieving the amount of steps in a day. but versus just going, what's the distance to the first switchback? Like, what's the first 10 minutes look like? Let's do that versus going all the way from the bottom of the mountain all the way to the peak, right? And so taking that approach of like, let me get a little bit here, let me get a little bit there, has made it so much easier to achieve my total at the end of the day. And it also allows me to get over the hump of mentally, like, I don't have to get a huge set of steps in right now. I don't have to go knock out 5,000 or 6,000 steps right now in one take. I can go do 1,000. I could go just for 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever, and I can chip away at it. I also looked up some strategies. That's what I've been doing. I also looked up some strategies here that are really good. So I looked them up. I typed in ChatGPT to see what it would come up with, and which is crazy. I heard that, maybe you guys know this too, but I heard that the top, I think it was on the country Billboard song and maybe a couple other billboards too, but the top song on the country Billboard was AI generated. Not even a real voice was generated. All the instruments, everything about it was AI, which is insane. That's crazy. But anyways, you can anchor your steps to existing habits. I'm a huge fan of that, right? So if you're already doing something, if you consistently drink coffee every day, make sure you walk for 10 minutes while you're drinking your coffee, right? It also has suggested 5-minute walk after each meal. Number 2, micro step goals. So 300 to 500 steps every hour. It's very similar to what I was just saying. I haven't gone through any of these, by the way. I just literally generated this, boom, hit record and was like, let's talk about it. So micro step goals for sure. So just like we talked about, when you're at the bottom of the mountain and you're looking up, instead of achieving a huge chunk of your steps or hiking halfway or 3/4 up the way of the mountain, just go to the first switchback, right? Or just go the first 10 or 15 minutes. Move your environment around. It says, oh, park further away. Yeah, that's a big one. Anytime we go grocery shopping, we are definitely parking further away. Use upstairs restroom. I like that. Carry smaller water bottles so you can refill more often. That's a good one. I haven't heard of that one. Put chargers in another room. Use trigger walks. So before lunch, after meetings, and when you finish work. I didn't know that's what they were called, but that's personally what I do. Make errands step friendly. Oh, this is a huge one. We do this on the weekends a lot. So if Katie and I got to run errands, we are going to, we almost like think of stuff to do. Like, I know she loves going to Target, but I'll find a reason of why I got to go to Target. And it doesn't even have to be a good reason, but I just want to go and walk around the store and get steps in if we have time to kill, right? And so we'll always look to do errands. Costco's another one. We just love going to Costco. We'll literally zigzag up and down every single aisle and get a few thousand, at Costco, which is always great. Costco's awesome. Leverage entertainment. Only let yourself listen to certain podcasts while walking, watch a show while on the treadmill. I like that one. Scroll social media while pacing. Yep. I do that quite a bit. So if you want to, like, it is kind of sad when you think about it. It's like mind numbing, right? But you accumulate steps very quickly when you distract yourself, listen to a podcast, watch a video, something like that. And you do it while you're walking, before you know it, like, you've got a decent amount of steps in. It's kind of like a little cheat code hack. Used step chunking. So 2K in the morning, 3K midday, 3K afternoon, 2K evening. Yeah. So they're talking more of like break 10K steps into bite-sized chunks, like we talked about before. Get an accountability cue is one on here. So compete with friends. Yep, that's super helpful. Anytime you bring competition into it, you could join step challenges. Put your tracker watch face to show steps big and bold. That's what I have. So love my new watch. I got to do a whole episode on my new watch. That's a different story though. So we'll save that for another pod. Walk with purpose. Walk your dog. Take the kids to the park. Evening walks with your partner. I love all of these. Movement snacks, super quick options, 20 air squats, 1 minute walk to the end of your street, 1 flight of stairs every hour. You could do that. Great. So I feel like those are all great options. Before we even read through those, I'm actually implementing some of those now and didn't even know that was on like a suggested top 10 list. So hopefully you guys got something from that list. If you are struggling with steps and getting a certain target, or you're not sure what your target should be, shoot Alex and I a message. We're more than happy to help you talk through it. And we love hearing from you guys. So remember, we're posting pods every Tuesday, Thursday at 6 a.m. Pacific time, I believe. Don't quote me on that. But we love hearing from you guys. If you found this helpful, share it with a friend, family member, somebody you feel like could benefit from it. And we'll catch you guys on the next one.